Hi everybody, it's Tim with Engadget, and before you see two iPhones, one of which is an iPhone 4S, the other is an iPhone 4. Let's go ahead and turn them both on and see if you can notice which is which. If you did not hear all the hype, the new iPhone 4S is an updated version of the iPhone 4 with all new internals. Biggest change is the introduction of the A5 processor, borrowed from the iPad 2, but running at a lower clock speed. Apple isn't saying, but we've since determined that the iPhone 4S is running at 800 megahertz, which is a bit of a step down from the iPad 2, but it's still a quicker chip than the A4 in the iPhone 4, and it is a dual-core chip as well, so you can expect good performance. Memory stays the same at 512 megs of RAM, though you can get up to 64 gigs of storage. Now, pretty quick here on the results, but if you might notice, this one on the right here is saying Sprint on the upper right. This is actually the iPhone 4S, so it got beat up by just a moment on the boot up, but as you can see, it was pretty quick. We'll go ahead and unlock the guy on the left, and we'll unlock this guy too. We'll give you a bit of a walkthrough of this, which is again the new iPhone 4S running on Sprint. However, they are both on Wi-Fi at the moment, so no need to worry about bandwidth here. Let's do a couple quick performance tests. Bring up the Engadget homepage on the two. Now in our testing we have seen that there is a noticeable improvement in the iPhone 4S, and as you can see the page is rendering more quickly on the right. It's finished on the right there, still waiting on the left on the iPhone 4. And there we go. We've done some benchmarks on the web. The SunSpider benchmark shows that the iPhone 4S is indeed lightning quick for rendering pages, and there you just saw that the proof is in the pudding. Now once you're in here you can see that everything is quick and smooth as you would expect on both devices, so we're not really seeing a lot of difference now. But obviously the page did load a good bit quicker on the 4S than it did on the 4. Let's try a couple of other apps. Let's bring up the weather app, for example, here. Tap on both of those. Again, a little bit quicker on the 4S than the 4. Let's try Maps. And again, a bit quicker on the 4S than on the iPhone 4. But as you can see, it's not exactly night and day. The iPhone 4 is still a very good performing device, despite the fact that it's been on the market for well over a year now. The bigger improvement, however, on the 4S is the new camera assembly, which is found on the back. In fact, it's found in the same location as on the 4, which is a little bit unfortunate, as we found that when we're taking pictures, our ring finger tends to get in the way. But the new 8 megapixel sensor does a great job of taking still pictures, and there's a new lens array too that brings the aperture down to f2.4, which will give you a little bit more light in there and give you a little bit better picture. But overall, we're not talking a night and day difference between the iPhone 4 as you would expect. Let's take a look at the hardware between the two. Again, this is the Sprint version of the iPhone 4S versus the AT&T version of the original iPhone 4, and as you can see, we've got the CDMA antenna configuration here as found on the Verizon iPhone. So there's an extra crease to be found, and there's a very, very slight difference, which you might just be able to see, between the lock switches here. The orientation lock is moved down ever so slightly on the 4S compared to the older iPhone 4, but it is not a big difference at all, and it's certainly, well, hopefully all of your cases will work. We'll do some more testing on cases and find out for sure. Now, because the iPhone 4 is still a very good performing device, we're not entirely sure that a lot of people are going to feel the need to upgrade. Certainly a lot of people are going to want to upgrade, and we, of course, would never discourage somebody from wanting the latest and greatest thing. But if you're mid-contract, or if you would have to pay something of a premium to get to the 4S, just not sure that it's worth it at this point. We would recommend waiting until your contract is up, and then maybe see if there's something a little bit better perhaps on the horizon. But the 4S is certainly a very good device if you've been waiting to get onto the iPhone bandwagon. This is a very good time to do it. The 4S is certainly quicker than the 4. Battery life seems to be unaffected by the increase in performance. And down the road a little bit, we think we'll be seeing more apps that take better advantage of the performance that the 4S offers. But right now, it seems like just a minor spec bump over the 4, and perhaps not the revolution that a lot of people have been hoping for. So again, this is the iPhone 4S review on Engadget.